Yeah, stay for at least August, and then we're gonna go to Europe in September. And none of that is happening now yet. So I will be sending you. Yeah, oh yeah. I mean, we're trying to, our tickets were for April 2019. No, these are our Europe trip, no, 2020, that's right, it's 2020, we were supposed to be there, so, yeah, we had all these trips canceled, but, you know, and now we were gonna move south at the end of September, and then just.
South, like California?
South ends in Florida, but now we're not gonna do that.
I was supposed to go to Florida. I just decided that.
And you know, it's just crazy now, and you know, so we're not gonna go anywhere for now until we get our booster shots. Yeah.
You're welcome.
Thank you.
Thank you, Rabbi. Thank you, Rabbi.
Thank you.
So the Shabbat Shalom, everyone.
Shabbat Shalom.
Draw that peace in for Shabbat. Have this moment to breathe. We've got a few minutes by the Rabbi's watch until 11, so we're live though. We'll keep going here. Hi, David. Shabbat Shalom. Let's start with a little nigun, a little melody here. You know, this moment, Shabbat, we're trying to lift ourselves up, but generally also this moment in our year, in the month of Elul, we're trying to lift ourselves up, and so let's be lifted here. Each other back. Welcome. We return to this space, to this moment, to this point in the year. We look forward to a new year soon to begin, getting close to Tishrei. We return again.
Return again, return again, return to the land of your soul. Return again. Return again, return to the land of your soul. Return to who you are, return to what you are, return to where you are, born and reborn again. Return again, return again. Return to the land of your soul. Return again, return again, return to the land of your soul. Ya da da, ya da da, ya da da, ya da da, ya return to where you are, born and reborn again. Return again, return again, return to the land of your soul. Return again, return again, return to the land of your soul.
So Gersh is going to bring the camera over to me. Just jam that Rabbi center button, if you could, on the stream deck, Gersh. And I can gather my thoughts here as I say a little welcome. Welcome to all of you who've joined us here in the sanctuary. Hi, Betsy. Didn't get to say hi to you before the service, but it's wonderful to see you, and I'm looking forward to hearing your Kriya later. Welcome to all of you that have come, and each one of you who makes this such a special community, a special place. And I want to welcome our online community as well. We are continuing to work through things. If the camera's shaking a little bit, it's the Rabbi's fault. I put it next to a blowing vent, and we decided we needed the air conditioning here. So I apologize for the shakiness. I'm hoping that we'll have a chance to return to a non-shaky service for those online, or that it's not so bad that you can't endure it. I'm thinking about where we're heading in our liturgy, heading to consecrate this space, heading to consecrate this moment with these words that I've just shared about how much each of you in this space means to me, and I'm thinking about these words that once were spoken about our ancient ancestors in the wilderness, Bamidbar. Ma tovu ohalecha Yaakov mishkenotecha Yisrael. How good, how beautiful are your tents, O Jacob, your dwelling places, O Israel. And the very next line, Ba'ani berov chastecha avo veitecha, I, in your abundant chesed, in your abundant loving kindness, in your abundant compassion or goodness, or however we understand the sense of chesed in our lives, that in this moment as we're together in this place, that we ask for our lives to be filled with a sense of chesed, to be filled with a sense of goodness, to be filled with a sense of compassion and loving and caring for one another, because it's when we do that that we create community among us. It's when we do that that we're able to reach out and support each other. And so let's welcome that sense of holiness in here as we turn in our books, page 74, Ma Tovu.
Oh,
We bring all our hearts, we bring all of our souls, we bring all of our selves, both physical and spiritual selves, to this moment, to share together in this moment of prayer, in this moment of community. We begin with a blessing over our physical selves. We could turn to page 77. We have this version of the prayer Asher Yatzar at the top of the page for us to continue with together. Blessed are you, Adonai our God, sovereign of the universe. With divine wisdom you have made our bodies, combining veins, arteries, and vital organs into a finely balanced network of life. Wondrous maker and sustainer of life, were one of them to fail, how well we are aware we would lack the strength to stand before you. Blessed are you, Adonai, source of our health and strength. Baruch atah Adonai, rofei chol basar umafli la'asot.
Elohai, Elohai. Try that. Elohai, Elohai. Neshama, Neshama. Neshama, Neshama. Shenatata bi, Shenatata bi. Shenatata bi, Shenatata bi. Tehorahi, Tehorahi.
I think I can do that. Can you do that?
Tehorahi, Tehorahi.
If I just remember, we're repeating. Go. From the top.
Elohai, Elohai. Neshama, Neshama. Shenatata bi, Shenatata bi. Tehorahi, Tehorahi.
Baruch atah Adonai, blessed are you, O eternal, that within your hand is the soul of every living thing and the spirit of all flesh. We continue with a moment, a thought about Torah, a thought about our own tradition of teaching and learning that guides us in this moment, just as every moment. And in this moment, as we have had this theme of return, this theme of coming back into this place, we recognize the return that we do in a sense of the year, to the high holy days, to Rosh Hashanah, to rededicating ourselves in that newness that just comes up over and over and over and over again, and finding a place for us to live in this world and occupy it in blessing and in wholeness, and to observe and be able to practice all of the things that we know are healthy habits and good for us and lead us to live more upright and complete lives of peace and blessing. And so, in this moment on the morning, Shabbat morning, before we have slichot, before we enter in earnest into this time where it gets very intense and everything will be white from here on out. I took out a little bit of white myself this morning. I'll be in a robe later today. What is one piece of Torah from this past year that you hope to carry with you? And where is, I mean Torah more generally, where is your learning that has occurred this past year? What learning would you like to carry forward? I don't know if that prompt is inspiration for anyone to share, but we've made some adjustments here, at least in our room, that your voices are being heard. Surprise, more online. And if anyone wants to share a word of what Torah you hope to bring into this new year before we say our blessing, welcome you to do so.
I just want to be focused more on gratitude and being thankful for what we have.
Hoda'ah.
Betsy brings gratitude into our new year, that important lesson from Torah. Others? Gersh.
So this is from your Pirkei Avos class that you did a year and a half ago.
the Gersh is bringing up, I think he might be too far from the microphone for you to hear, but what he just said is that we studied Pirkei Avot in this past year together as a community, and say a little and do a lot was a text that we focused on, that our actions are important, and that, you know, all of the uncertainty, maybe this is me taking your words and adding it to my own life, but to remember that the things that we do, as long as we do them with the proper intention of wanting to observe those mitzvot, we bring betterness into our world. Thank you, Gersh. Thank you.
To really listen to other people. Shema.
Steve says to listen. Shema. So we'll keep thinking about this. We'll keep thinking, and certainly we welcome you to share in this community. This is our circle here, and I wish on the screen we're talking about we need to figure out a way to show the circle more. It's wonderful here to be here around this room, representing that commitment as a community to betterment, both for ourselves and for our community, to listen, to hear, as Steve said, to be able to do much for ourselves and the world, but also to bring about the world that God wanted, to be able to bring all of this in a more loving and caring self, a more loving and self filled with gratitude, with thanksgiving, as Betsy shared. With all of those thoughts that are bringing into, whether they're stated or not, you know, even in the mind, we have that focus. So let's say the blessing for the study of Torah in our books. It's on page 86. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher kidshanu b'mitzvotav v'tzivanu la'asok b'divrei Torah. We seekers of God, how do we find you? In good deeds, in the study of Torah. And you, your search for us, you find us in the bending of the knee, in the rigor of study, in the honesty of commerce, through a good heart, through decency, in respect, true fellowship, companionship, and love, through truth and peace, in the no that is really no, and the yes that is really yes. Baruch atah Adonai, hamelamed Torah le'amo Yisrael. We continue with the Psalm for Shabbat, page 96.
מזמור שיר ליום השבת, טוב להודות לאדוני, ולזמר לשמך עליון, ולזמר לשמך עליון. מזמור שיר ליום השבת, טוב להודות לאדוני, ולזמר לשמך עליון, ולזמר לשמך עליון. להגיד בבוקר חסדך, ואמונתך בלילות, עלי אסור ועלי נבל, עלי היגיון בחינות. מזמור שיר ליום השבת, להודות לאדוני, ולזמר לשמך עליון, ולזמר לשמך עליון. כי שימחתני אדוני בפועלך, במעשה ידיך ארנן. מה גדלו מעשיך אדוני, מאוד עמקו מחשבותיך. מזמור שיר ליום השבת, טוב להודות לאדוני, ולזמר לשמך עליון, ולזמר לשמך עליון.
The book of Psalms contains so many different words to dedicate ourselves to praising and appreciating the blessings we have before us. And some teach that the last of the Psalms, Psalm 150, encapsulates them all. So we have this moment of praise. Hallelujah, page 100.
Hallelujah, 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 bekocho, hallelujah, bekira, so
those instruments handy. We'll use them again, I think, this morning. If you want one, please help yourself. We have a few more there in the bucket in the center of the room. Those words of praise. Pezuka de Zimra, that I hope have lifted us to the place where we feel muchan, where we feel ready, prepared to enter into the core meaty sections of our service. It begins with the Shema and its blessings. We make that transition with the words of Chatzi Kaddish. Let's rise together for Chatzi Kaddish.
יתגדל ויתקדש שמי רבה
אמן.
בעלמא דברה חירותי וימליך מלכותי בחייכון וביומכון ובחיי דכל בית ישראל
Bagala, Bagala, ובזמן קריב
נאמרו
אמן.
יהי
שמי רבה מבורך, לעולם ולעולמי יתברך.
יתברך וישתבח ויתפאר ויתרומם ויתנשא ויתהדר ויתעלה ויתהלל שמי דקודשה
בריחו
לעילה מן כל ברכתה ושירתה
תושבחתה ונחמתה דמירן בעלמא. Amen. Page 108.
So as Rabbi said, everything before this is really pre-stuff. So once we get to this point, it's really like, oh yeah, we've made it, we're ready to pray. And so with this Baruch Hu, they ask, like, am I really awake for this Baruch Hu? Am I really prepared for this Baruch Hu? And is God even listening to these prayers? So we ask that we be ready and awake. We'll be even if God's not listening, we're listening to each other. Am I awake? Am I prepared? Are you listening to my prayer? Can you hear my voice? Can you understand? Am I awake? Am I prepared? Yada la la la, 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 yada la la la. Baruchu et Adonai HaMevorach. Baruch Adonai HaMevorach le'olam va'ed, le'olam va'ed. Yala la la la, 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 yala la la la. We continue with our prayer for creation, for the new light of the new day. Every day renewing, mechadesh, v'chol yom tamim ma'aseh v'reshit. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam yotzeh or uvorei choshech oseh shalom uvorei et hakol.
Aseh Shalom Uvorei Et HaKol. Or Chadash Hatzion Ta'ir, shine a new light upon Zion, that we may all swiftly merit its radiance. Baruch Atah Adonai, Yotzer HaMeorot. We ask in God's deep love for us, in God's abiding compassion, in God being gracious with us, that God grace us with enlightenment of Torah, with learning and wisdom. God, enlighten our eyes in your Torah. V'ha'erinenu b'Toratecha. Page 112 in the middle.
B'Toratecha, B'Toratecha, B'dabek libeinu, B'mitzvotecha, B'mitzvotecha, B'yached levaveinu, le'ahava u'yirah, et shemecha, ve'lo nevosh, ve'lo nikalem, ve'lo nikashel le'olam va'ed. V'ha'erinenu b'Toratecha, b'Toratecha, v'dabek libeinu, b'mitzvotecha, b'mitzvotecha.
Blesses.
No, go ahead.
Go.
So we had already planned on doing this exercise with you, but it's even more doubly nice because of Steve's words about the Shema. And so there's this exercise that we do where we sort of elongate. So we say, Israel, Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai Echad, Baruch Shem Kevon Malchuto Le'olam Va'ed.
You may be seated.
Ve'ata et Adonai Elohecha b'chol levavcha u'b'chol nafshecha u'b'chol me'odecha ve'hayu hadvarim ha'eleh asher anochi mitzavecha hayom al levavecha ve'shinantam levanecha ve'dibarta bam V'shivtecha b'veitecha, uv'lechtecha b'derech, uv'shochbecha uv'kumecha, uv'kshartam le'ot al yadecha, v'hayu letotafot bein einecha, uv'chtavtam al mezuzot beitecha uv'yisharecha, leman tizkeru v'asitem et kol mitzvotai, v'hitem kedoshim le'Elohechem. Ani Adonai Elohechem, אשר הוצאתי אתכם מארץ מצרים, להיות לכם לאלוהים. אני אדוני אלוהיכם.
Adonai Elohechem, Amen. And there's truth there, truth that we are all connected, truth that that the eternal sense that guides us and binds us through time is still with us, truth that when we lift our prayers, Tilot Le'el Elyon, to the highest source of blessing and goodness and wholeness in our world, then we're joined by the one blessed be God. Moshe uMiriam uVnei Yisrael echanu shira b'simcha rabu, and a great joy, all of our ancestors, among them Moses and Miriam and all of the children of Israel, they say together these words, Micha Mocha.
Page 122.
Ya ba ba bim bim bam, ya ba 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 bim bam, ya ba ba bim bim bam, ya ba 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 bim bam, ay ay la la la, ya ba 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 bim bam, ay ay la la la, ya ba 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 bim bam. Mi chamocha bailim Adonai, mi kamocha nereda bakodesh, norati lo osefele, norati lo osefele. Ya ba ba bim bim bam, ya ba 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 bim bam, ya ba ba bim bim bam, ya ba 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 bim bam, ay ay la la la, ya ba 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 bim bam, ay ay la la la, ya ba 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 bim bam. שירה חדשה שיבחו גאולים לשחר הים יחד כולם הודו ונמלכו ויאמרו אדוני ימלוך לעולם ועד. יא בבא בים בים בם, יא בבא בים בם, יא בבא בים בים bam, yabba bim bam. Ay ay la 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 la, yabba. Hear those waves? Yay da 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 da, yabba da da bim bam.
We rise for Sur Yisrael, Sur Yisrael, Kuma be'ezrat Yisrael, Uvdechinu mecha, Yehuda ve'Yisrael. Go aleinu Adonai Tzebaot Shemo, Kedosh Yisrael. Baruch atah Adonai, Ga'al Yisrael. We are now entering into the Amidah, and so we will do the first three prayers together, and then we open our hearts and our minds. And when you feel like you're ready and you're good, we invite you to be seated, and we'll continue together with Sim Shalom. Adonai sifatai tiftachu fi yagi tehilatecha. Adonai, open up my lips, that my mouth may declare your praise. Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu, Elohei Avotenu v'Imotenu, Elohei Abraham, Elohei Yitzchak, Elohei Yaakov, Elohei Sarah, Elohei Rivka, Elohei Rachel, Elohei Leah. האל הגדול, הגיבור והנורא, אל עליון, גומל חסדים טובים, וקונה הכל, וזוכר חסדי אבות ואימהות, ומביא גאולה לבני בניהם, למען שמו באהבה, מלך עוזר ומושיע ומגן. ברוך אתה אדוני, מגן אברהם בעזרת שרה,
אתה גיבור לעולם אדוני, מחיי הכל אתה רב להושיע, מוריד הטל, מכלכל חיים בחסד, מחיי הכל ברחמים רבים, סומך נופלים ברופא חולים, ומתיר אסורים, ומקיים אמונתו לשני עפר, מי כמוך בעל גבורות, ומידו מלך, מלך ממית ומחיה, ומצמיח ישועה. ונאמן אתה לחיות הכל, ברוך אתה אדוני, מחיי הכל. נקדש את שמך בעולם, כשם שמקדישים אותו בשמי מרום, ככתוב על יד נביאך, וקרא זה אל זה ואמר, קדוש קדוש קדוש, אדוני צבאות, מלוך כל הארץ, כבודו. אדיר אדירנו אדוני, אדוננו מה אדיר שמך בכל הארץ, ברוך כבוד אדוני ממקומו. אחד הוא אלוהינו, הוא אבינו, הוא מלכנו, הוא מושיענו והוא ישמיענו, ברחמיו לעיני כל חי. אני אדוני אלוהיכם, ימלוך אדוני לעולם, אלוהי ציון, לדור ודור. הללויה. לדור ודור, לדור ודור, לדור ודור נגיד גוד לך. לדור ודור, לדור ודור, לדור ודור, לדור ודור נגיד גוד לך. ולנצח נצחים קדושך נקדיש, קדושתך נקדיש, ושבחך אלוהינו מפינו לא ימוש, לעולם לעולם ועד. לדור ודור, לדור ודור, לדור ודור, לדור ודור, לדור ודור נגיד גוד לך. לדור ודור, לדור ודור, לדור ודור, לדור ודור, לדור ודור נגיד גוד לך. ולנצח נצחים קדושתך נקדיש, קדושתך נקדיש, ושבחך אלוהינו מפינו לא ימוש, לעולם לעולם ועד. ברוך אתה אדוני האל הקדוש. Shalom, Tova, Uvra.
shalom tova uvracha. Chen v'chesed v'rachamim. Chen v'chesed v'rachamim. V'rachamim. Sim shalom tova uvracha. Sim shalom tova uvracha. Aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael. Aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael. Amecha. Sim shalom tova uvracha. Sim shalom tova uvracha. Sim shalom tova uvracha.
We make yet another transition into Seder Kriyat Torah, the service for the reading of the Torah. We'll go ahead and rise as we turn in our books to page 244 for Ein Kamocha.
Ein kamocha v'Elohim Adonai, ve'ein kema'asecha. Malchutecha malchut kol olamim, u'memshaltecha b'chol dor v'dor. Adonai melech, Adonai malach, Adonai imloch le'olam va'ed, Adonai oz le'amo yitein, Adonai yivarech et amo b'shalom. Ki mitzion tetzei Torah, ki mitzion tetzei Torah, u'devar Adonai mirushalayim. Baruch shenatan
Torah, Torah, Baruch Shenatan Torah, Torah, Le'amo Yisrael, Bihi Kedushato, Shema Yisrael, Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai Echad, Echad Eloheinu, Gadol Adonenu, Kadosh Shemo, Gadol Adonai iti, V'romema Shemo Yachdav, Lecha Adonai Hagedula, V'hatiferet, V'hanetzach, V'hahod, Ki chol b'shamayim u'ba'aretz, Ki chol b'shamayim u'ba'aretz, Lecha Adonai ha'mamlacha, Ve'hamid na'aseh v'chol erosh. Well, Shabbat Shalom once again, everyone. A word about where we're going to be reading in Torah today. We are in the book of Devarim, as we have been for some weeks now, in a portion called Ki Tavo El Haaretz. When you enter into the land, when you come into the land, you shall be prepared to do these things. First and foremost, as we have this portion, is a set of agricultural practices that we are to bring. Our bikurim is the word for it, our first fruits, our best of our produce, our best of what we generate in our fields and our grain. This was an agrarian people, and while I know that I'm probably, well, who has a garden at their house here? I know we've got a couple that grew up with a garden. You got a garden? All right, so did you bring any fruit with you today? I brought mine last night. Did you bring any, David? You didn't bring any. Oh, well, man, that's all right. These laws are about what it means to live into a land that's our own, that we have sovereignty and control over. And so what are the values that we want to generate and create? And I think something that's really important that comes up here too, the degree of possession. So this is the land that has been given to us to possess, to own, virashta, that God has given us stewardship over that land. But very clear here, I don't want to miss this, in the book of Dvarim, no matter how much we might feel that this land is owned by us, it's not. There are obligations, there are mitzvot, there are practices we have to live by in order to merit our continued possession of this land. First and foremost among those are our moral obligations to treat this land with reverence and sacredness, here making sure that everyone has access to yield from the land, that the vulnerable, the stranger, the widow, the orphanless, the orphan are taken care of in our midst. And so too, as we think about our society today, the things that we bring into the community, the places where we say, you know what, yes, I am important and I need to be able to sustain my own life, but so too with the blessings that I have been given, I have an obligation to sustain the life of the entire world. And for Dvarim, that happens with the land. And if we needed a reminder as we read newspapers about all of the climate catastrophes unfolding right now, and of the way that our planet needs to be treated with this reverence, and the ideas that we might think the earth is ours, but actually it belongs to something greater than ourselves, however we refer to that greater sense, that we need to observe these mitzvot, these laws, that we need to be able to be giving and helpful and loving to all those that we share this land with, because it's not truly just ours, it is all of ours. And with that, I'd like to call forward our reader for the day. Betsy's going to read Torah for us. And are you reading? You're reading out of a book?
No.
Okay, perfect. She's a pro. She's an old pro at this, I hear. I'm just delighted to have her joining us this morning. I'm putting my mask on so she can take hers off and we can hear her more clearly. We're in chapter 26. I just broke my mask. Oh, well. We're in chapter 26, verses 1 through 3 this morning of the book of Dvarim.
On page 1140.
And as we, by the way, think about all of those blessings, all of that Torah, all of those things we hope to bring into the new year, let's rise together and have a moment of blessing over Torah as we prepare to read. Baruchu et Adonai Hamborach, Baruch Adonai Hamborach le'olam va'ed, Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, Asher bachar banu mikol ha'amim, v'natan et Torato, Baruch atah Adonai noten ha'Torah. Amen.
Okay, where are we again? Amen. V'haya ki tavo el haaretz asher Adonai Elohecha noten lacha nachala v'yrishta v'yashavta ba uvalakak mereshit kol pri hadama asher tavi me'artzecha asher Adonai Elohecha noten lak v'samta v'tene v'halakha el hamakom Asher yivchar Adonai Elohecha l'shaken shmo sham uvata el hakohen asher yeh bayamim hahem v'hamarta elav yigadeti hayom l'Adonai Elohecha Kivati el haaretz Asher nishba Adonai lavotenu latet lanu.
When you enter the land that the eternal your God is giving you as a heritage, and you possess it and settle in it, you shall take some of every first fruit of the soil which you harvest from the land that the eternal your God is giving you, put it in a basket, and go to a place where the eternal your God will choose to establish God's name. You shall go to the priest in charge at that time and say to him, I acknowledge this day before the eternal your God that I have entered the land that the eternal swore to our fathers to assign us. And yishkach to Betsy here. Let's grab the me'il. I want to wish you, Betsy, shkoach, that you have more moments of strength and uprightness. Beautiful reading this morning. And with the Torah in our midst and all of us having this moment of blessing, let's recite the blessing after. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher natan lanu Torah emet v'chayei olam nata b'tochenu Baruch atah Adonai noten haTorah. We call on our ancestors to offer us prayers in this moment known as Misha Berach prayers, and having all had this aliyah, what blessings do we hope for than health for our families, sustenance for our communities, that we be protected from illness and harm, that all the work of our hands, that all of us, I'm looking around this room, all of us give and engage in so many ways, bringing our first fruits to this moment, to this community, to bring goodness, to bring wholeness, to bring peace and security, that in all of these ways, our blessings of our hands are for us and for all our brothers and sisters among Israel and for all those who dwell on earth. Mishaberach Abatena, Abraham, Yitzhak, Yaakov, Imotina, Sarah, Rivka, Rachel, Leah, Hu Yeberech, et kol ha-ikarim hazeh ba'avor she'alu likvod ha-Torah, likvod ha-Shabbat, HaKadosh Baruch Hu yishmarehem, v'yatzilehem, mikol sar mitzukah, mikol nega machla, v'yishlach, bracha, blessing, v'hatzlacha, and sustenance, b'chol ma'aseh yedechem, with every act of our hands, in kol Yisrael achechem, and with all Israel, our people, b'chol yoshvei tevel, and for all the dwellers of the earth, and we say, v'nomar, Amen. With the Torah in our midst, we draw on those most sacred moments, those most sacred blessings, and we ask here in this moment, as we have each and every week for years now, a blessing for healing, a blessing for wholeness, a blessing for refuat hanefesh, the healing of the soul, as well as refuat haguf, the blessing for the body. And if there's anyone here that would like to share the names of individuals that they are thinking of for healing, our online community as well, drop it in the chat. I go and I read the chats every time afterwards. We're still working on a better solution to see those chats. But if there's anyone here that would like to share a name, someone you're thinking of for healing in this moment, collectively we will then make our prayer for healing in the hope it will bring that healing that is so much needed to our world. For Bob.
Grace.
For Grace. For Joyce.
Sue Merritt.
For Sue.
Carlos Merritt and Valerie Navarro.
For Carlos and Valerie. For Helen. For Lauren. For all those, the many more that go unmentioned, we pray for Refuat Shlema, full and complete healing, page 253.
May the source of strength, who bless the ones before us, help us find the courage to make our lives a blessing, and let us say, Amen. Mishebera imotenu, rekor habracha
We rise as the Torah is lifted in breastplate. Yamod b'shem Hagba v'hamagya v'zot haTorah asher sam Moshe lifnei b'nei Yisrael al pi Adonai b'yad Moshe.
This is the Torah that Moses placed before the people of Israel to fulfill the word of God. Romemu Adonai Eloheinu ve'yishtachavu lecha hakodsho. Romemu Adonai Eloheinu ve'yishtachavu lecha hakodsho. Ki kadosh Adonai Eloheinu. Romemu v'takrumu na ki kadosh Adonai Eloheinu.
Ki l'kaktov natati lachem, Torati al ta'azovu.
Page 256. Eitz
Chayim hi le'machazikim ba, v'tomcheha me'ushar deracheha. Noam, bechol netivoteha, shalom, hashivenu Adonai, elecha v'nashua, Kadesh, Kadesh Yameinu. Page 282, we continue. Aleinu leshabeach. Aleinu leshabeach ladon hakol. Latekru la leotzer breshi. Shelo asanu k'goyei ha'aratzot. Velo samanu k'mishpechot ha'adama. Shelo sam chelkenu kahem. V'gor aleinu k'chol hamonam. V'anachnu korim. V'mishtachavim u'modim. Lifnei melech malchei hamlachim. HaKadosh Baruch Hu. We continue together on the top of page 287.
May we gain
Wisdom in our life, overflowing like a river with understanding. Love each of us for the peace we bring to others. May our deeds exceed our speech, and may we never lift up our hand but to conquer fear and doubt and despair. Rise up like the sun, O God, over all humanity. Cause light to go forth over all the
lands between the sea
and light up the universe with the joy of wholeness, of freedom, and of peace. V'nemar v'haya Adonai lemelech al kol haaretz bayom hahu yihyeh Adonai echad u'shemo echad. You may be seated. Gersh, bring the camera back over here to me. Torah button. Perfect. We turn our thoughts to all of those sacred souls, those Klei Kodesh, those individuals who are friends, our neighbors, maybe in our own families or within our communities that we have lost, but remain a blessing to us in their example that they set, in the deeds that they brought, and in the legacy that they left. And so we think of them now and draw them into our hearts as our eternal blessing. We as a congregation in this moment, this Shabbat, are remembering the yard sites of our friends, family, and former members of our congregation that occur this week. They are Betty Beanstalk, Doris Billis, Irving Cohen, Deborah Cooper, Terry Crane, Evelyn V. Deitch, Carrie Epstein, Louise Evanson, Louis Kane, Mabel Cammons, Rebecca Rose Lunsky, David Mailer, Katie McIntyre, Shirley Rosenberg, Mayor Irving Rosenthal, Jack Scapa, Helen Silverberg, Harriet Simons, Charlene Woods, and Barry Zeltzer. Are there other names to add to our list of names here for Kaddish? Then, as is the custom in our congregation, we rise in memory of all of these individuals as we offer words of compassion and comfort, words of endurance and eternal blessing, the words of Kaddish, page 294. Yitkadal v'yitkadash shemei Rabbah, be'alma divrach hirutei v'yamlik malchutei, b'chayechon u'v'yomechon, u'chayei dechol Beit Yisrael, Ba'gala u'vizman kariv imru amen. Yehei shemei Rabbah mevorach le'olam u'lomei amaya. Yitbarach v'yishtabach v'yitpa'ar v'yitromam v'yitnaseh. V'yithadar v'yit'aleh v'yithalal shemei dekudesha b'rechu. Leila min kol birchata v'shirata. Tushvechata v'nechamata. Da'amiran be'alma v'imru amen. Yehei shlama Rabbah min shemaya. V'chaim aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael v'imru amen. Oseh shalom b'mromav hu ya'aseh shalom aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael v'imru ve'al kol Yishvei Tevel v'imru amen. May God bring peace to us. Oseh shalom b'mromav hu ya'aseh shalom Aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael ve'imru amen. You may be seated once again as I welcome we're switching. Welcome another of our trustees, not the one whose name's in front of me, but nevertheless, Lee Schadenfels, past president, co-president or co-chair of the Social Action Committee. Should I keep going?
Secretary once.
Neighbor of the rabbi, secretary. Yeah, we can keep going. All right, you're up.
Okay. Shabbat Shalom.
Shabbat shalom.
Thank you for joining us. It's great to have a minyan here this morning, and everybody singing together. So nice. Shabbat services are available on Facebook Live and YouTube. On Friday, September 3rd, our evening service will be at 6, followed by Saturday morning here again at 11. Tonight at 7:30, we will be observing Slichot. Please join us as we change Torah covers to white and begin to prepare ourselves for the High Holy Day season. It'll be a candlelit evening of music and reflection you won't want to miss. RSVP is required for attendance. Join us on Monday, August 30th at noon for Rabbi Gutmann's class, Jews in the News, where he will discuss current events and trends from the Jewish world. This is held in person and online. Please remember to fill out your High Holy Day registration form if you plan to attend in person. We will have in-person services. It's located in the TKA weekly email in order for you to find the registration form. You should have received your holiday packets of information with tickets and service times. Please feel free to call the office if you have questions. Also, give us names of any children or grandchildren born or adopted since Yom Kippur of last year. Help us continue the custom of honoring TKA's newest family members during Yom Kippur Yizkor service. Names can be sent via email to Cheryl Spector at the Temple office. Also, please save the date. The Relay for Life is coming soon, taking place on Saturday, September 11th from 7 a.m. to 10 a.m. at the Detroit Zoo. Details coming soon. We can also use High Holy Day Angels to help defray costs, such as music, tents, and parking. If you'd like to be an usher for the services, let me know or contact Amy Klein or Carrie Strom. We're so happy that we're all able to be together and online, and Shabbat Shalom, everyone.
Shabbat shalom. Shabbat shalom, Lee. Wish you strength.
Thank you.
See you with a muffin later. I just want to schlep some more nachas here, some more good vibes and good thoughts and good feelings to wish strength and blessing to Janet, who's led the service with me this morning, to Gersh, who has operated our stream to bring us to our online community, to all of those who joined us and helped us this morning, Betsy for a beautiful Torah reading, Lee, as I've said just a moment ago, for the announcement, Steve for ushering, and everyone else that knows the drill, and all of you online and here in person that has made this special, really, really special. I want to wish everyone not only Shabbat Shalom, but a Guten Yor as well, a good year as we have Slichot tonight, as we prepare the week after next for Rosh Hashanah. It's coming up. Osei Shalom. Let's bring those blessings for peace with us and have them infuse our days here so that we are ready for whatever might be in our path on the way as we go forward from this sanctuary. Among other places in our prayer book, it's on page 343, Osei Shalom.
Osei Shalom, Shalom Bimromav. Yaseh Shalom, Osei Shalom, Shalom Bimromav. Yaseh Shalom. Yaseh Shalom, Yaseh Shalom, Shalom Aleinu, ve'al kol Yisrael, ve'imeru amen, ve'imeru amen. Ya la 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 la, ya la 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 la, ya la 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 la, ya la 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 la, ya la 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 la, ya la 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 la, ya la la la, ya la la la, ya la la, ya la la la, ya la la, ya la la la, ya la la, ya la la, ya la la la, ya la la. Shabbat Shalom, everyone. Shabbat Shalom.